Hey everyone, it's Darius with Off-Road Universe. Want to do a quick little update video on the 2001 CR500. This is where she stands, and we're, moving along pretty good. She's a looker. She definitely is looking pretty awesome. So nothing really new to report in terms of stuff that I've done with her since the last video. For those that are new, it's a 2001 CR500 that I was able to get from a local seller. Just a really awesome bike. Really happy to have her. Was really in good shape. I mean, I just did a cosmetic refresh pretty much. New plastics from UFO, new tank from VMX, and some other things, here and there. Touched up the frame. I did a little bit of, updating on that and just different things. I mean, nothing really major with this bike. It's in really, really good shape. So what's left to be done is I am going to recover this seat. I have another cover, and while this looks pretty good, I made the mistake of going actually a little too short on the vinyl when I cut it. So I don't have enough here, and it's kind of coming up. But what I realized with these seats is you've got to make sure that the little ridge that's in the foam actually fits into the seat pan, so you can have some of the overlap. And the overlap will get rid of this little gap here, because I've got some extra foam that's kind of like stuck up in here, and it should come down and kind of cover that overlap. If you remember on one of the other videos, I realized that I had a little too much of a gap, so I lifted up the fender by dropping these holes. Actually, yeah, dropping the holes and raising the fender up. And I suspect here I've also perhaps stuffed some of the foam back, and there might be a way that this foam is supposed to hang over, which would take care of a little bit of that. So yeah, just little things here and there, nothing major. I still have to get the carburetor back on. I decided not to put the frame guards on because this looks just so great. So I'm gonna just go with this, and when I do put her around, I'll probably just get some tape and cover up the frame so I don't scratch it up. Yeah. It's a really nice bike. Really nice bike. I decided to go with white fork protectors instead of the clear. First of all, the clear is no longer available through Honda. So if I went with the, I guess, natural, I should say, instead of clear, if I went with the natural color, they would potentially be very similar to the OEM. This is an OEM front disc guard, and that is the quote-unquote natural color. You can see it doesn't have that white color mixed in, whereas this is white. But I decided to go with white just because I didn't know if there'd be some variances there. One thing I did also add recently was the rear disc guard cover, which I think looks awesome. And I need to change out my brake pads. I might end up doing that today or some other day when I have some time. That is a new rear brake disc, and just a stunning bike. Here's the rear shock that my buddy Piccolito rebuilt. Thank you, my friend. Pipe is awesome. Blew out the dent. So yeah, let me go around the other side. Just a nice day in March, and I thought I would kind of show y'all what she's looking like. Here's the other side. A little different lighting, obviously. Let's see if I can't adjust the color here a little bit. So a few things that I ended up doing. There was no dents on this side. The CRs are great because you've got this extra piece here that they welded on. It's kind of a double wall. So you're not going to have a lot of dents here unless you really crash this thing. And if you did, you'd dump right into this ignition cover. I ended up polishing this because they were scratches. Used the Prime MX polishing wheels and some varying grit sandpaper wheels. I ended up doing the same with this as best I could. Polished the bolts as well. Still have to get the carburetor on and clean that. That's no big deal. New chain roller down there. Polished up these, sanded them down, got some of the dents out. Not dents, but scratches, and polished them up. As you can see, they're pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty darn good for a 23-year-old bike. Put some protectant tape here behind this bracket because of the fact that we're going to have some of that bracket rubbing against the plastic every once in a while. And this was the swing arm that I had to basically sand and get the clear coat off of so I could sand out some scratches. Yep, so yeah, she's looking good. In the frame, as I've shared with y'all, I ended up painting from about here down and then clear coating with a hardener, and can't see the line. That's the nice thing about these white frames, is as long as you get a true white, I've saw this in the CR500 and I see this in the CR, as long as you get like a true white and not a cream, you're going to be able to cover it really nicely. I did end up matching the color of the rear shock, and then I was actually able to go in and touch that up as well. So it's looking pretty good. So what else? What's left to be done? Well, I do have one issue. The rear airbox, well, there's only one airbox, the airbox and the pipe. If you look right there, you can see that pipe, right where the two pieces meet, the silencer and the pipe, there's just no room for that rubber flange. So I've posted this on some of the CR groups, and no one really has a clear answer for me. So what I'm going to be doing, I've even, made sure this was tied. I reviewed the parts fiche to make sure I didn't have anything wrong here. So I may have to, and I really don't want to, I may have to get the heat gun out and just kind of heat up that plastic right around where it's touching and just push this in a little. I hate to do that, but I may have to. So that's just one of the things I have to do. Plus rear brake disc pads, and then I need to install the petcock on the VMX tank. But other than that, we're moving along pretty good. Pretty darn good. All right, guys, that's the update and where we're at right now. If you want to follow along, one of the things I want to do next is get a helmet cam and take some of these monsters out and let them eat, and give you guys the seat of the pants impression from the CR500 to the KX500, WR500, KTM 440, KTM 550, KTM 500. I can't say exactly when it's all going to happen, but stay tuned on the channel, get updates, because I'm definitely going to be doing it, and you're going to really get a sense of how these bikes all compare and which one's the scariest, which one's the most rideable, which one's the most fun. At least according to me, you're going to find out. So hit like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next update.